Today's digital world, personal and business data are more valuable than ever. With the rise of online services, social media, and cloud storage, our information is constantly being collected, processed, and shared. But what happens if this data falls into the wrong hands? That's where data protection regulations come in. These laws are designed to safeguard our privacy, ensure our information is handled responsibly, and give us control over our own data. Understanding these regulations is crucial for individuals and organizations alike, as they set the foundation for trust and security in the digital age. Data protection regulations are legal frameworks that govern how personal information is collected, used, stored, and shared. These rules apply to both public and private organizations, and they set clear guidelines for handling sensitive data. The main goal is to protect individuals from misuse or unauthorized access to their information. Regulations can vary by country or region, but they all share the common purpose of ensuring transparency, accountability, and respect for privacy. By understanding these regulations, organizations can avoid legal trouble and build stronger relationships with their customers. The concept of data privacy isn't new, but it has become increasingly important as technology has advanced. Early data protection laws emerged in the 1970s, responding to growing concerns about how governments and companies were using personal information. Over the decades, these laws have evolved to address new challenges brought by the internet, mobile devices, and global data flows. Today, data privacy laws are a cornerstone of digital society, shaping how organizations operate and how individuals interact with technology. The heart of every data protection regulation are a set of core principles. These include lawfulness, fairness, and transparency in data processing. Organizations must collect data for specific legitimate purposes and only keep it as long as necessary. Data accuracy is also essential, as is ensuring the security and confidentiality of personal information. By following these principles, organizations can demonstrate their commitment to privacy and build trust with their users. General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, is perhaps the most well-known data protection law in the world. Enforced in the European Union since 2018, the GDPR sets strict rules for how organizations handle personal data. It applies not only to companies based in the EU, but also to any business that processes the data of EU citizens. The GDPR has inspired similar laws in other countries, making it a global benchmark for data privacy. Personal data refers to any information that can identify an individual either directly or indirectly. This includes obvious details like names, addresses, and phone numbers, but also things like IP addresses, location data, and even online identifiers. Understanding what counts as personal data is crucial for compliance, as it determines what information needs to be protected under the law. Some types of personal data are considered especially sensitive and require extra protection. This includes information about a person's health, race, religion, political opinions, or sexual orientation. Because misuse of this data can lead to discrimination or harm, regulations often impose stricter rules for its collection and use. Organizations must take special care when handling sensitive data to avoid legal and ethical issues. One of the most important aspects of data protection is obtaining consent from individuals before collecting their personal information. Consent must be freely given, specific, informed, and unambiguous. This means organizations need to clearly explain what data they're collecting and why, and individuals must actively agree to it. Without proper consent, data collection can be illegal and result in serious penalties. Data protection regulations grant individuals, known as data subjects, a range of rights over their personal information. These rights include the ability to access their data, correct inaccuracies, request deletion, and object to certain types of processing. Organizations must have processes in place to respond to these requests promptly and effectively, ensuring that individuals remain in control of their own data. Transparency is a key requirement in data protection. Organizations must clearly communicate their data practices to individuals, usually through privacy policies and notices. These documents should explain what data is collected, how it is used, who it is shared with, and how long it is kept. Clear communication builds trust and helps individuals make informed decisions about their data. Organizations are responsible for ensuring that their data processing activities comply with the law. This means implementing appropriate policies, training staff, and regularly reviewing data practices. Accountability also involves keeping records of data processing activities and being able to demonstrate compliance to regulators if required. By taking accountability seriously, organizations can minimize risks and build a culture of privacy. Protecting data from unauthorized access, loss, or theft is a central requirement of data protection regulations. Organizations must use technical and organizational measures such as encryption, access controls, and regular security assessments. These steps help ensure that personal data remains safe and secure throughout its lifecycle, reducing the risk of breaches and protecting individuals' privacy. If a data breach occurs, organizations are often required to notify both the affected individuals and the relevant authorities. Timely notification is crucial, as it allows people to take steps to protect themselves and helps regulators respond appropriately. Regulations usually set strict timelines for reporting breaches, and failure to comply can result in significant penalties. Data protection law: there is an important distinction between data controllers and data processors. Controllers decide why and how personal data is processed, while processors act on behalf of controllers. Both have legal obligations, but controllers bear the primary responsibility for compliance. Understanding these roles is essential for organizations working with third-party service providers. Businesses operating globally, personal data often crosses borders. Data protection regulations set strict rules for transferring data to countries outside their jurisdiction. These rules are designed to ensure that data remains protected, even when it leaves its country of origin. Organizations must use approved mechanisms, such as standard contractual clauses, to lawfully transfer data internationally. Children's personal data is especially sensitive, and regulations often include special protections for minors. Organizations must obtain parental consent before collecting data from children and ensure that their services are age-appropriate. These measures help safeguard young users from exploitation and ensure their privacy is respected. Data minimization means collecting only the data that is necessary for a specific purpose. Organizations should avoid gathering excessive or irrelevant information. This principle reduces the risk of misuse and makes it easier to manage and protect personal data. By focusing on what's truly needed, organizations can streamline their processes and enhance privacy. Purpose limitation requires organizations to collect data only for specified, explicit, and legitimate purposes. Once collected, data should not be used for unrelated activities without further consent. This principle ensures that individuals know exactly how their information will be used and helps prevent misuse or unauthorized processing. Data protection regulations require organizations to keep personal data only as long as necessary for the purposes it was collected. Once the data is no longer needed, it must be securely deleted or anonymized. This principle helps reduce the risk of breaches and ensures that outdated or unnecessary information does not linger in systems. Maintaining accurate and up-to-date personal data is a key requirement. Organizations must take steps to correct inaccuracies and update information as needed. This not only ensures compliance but also improves the quality of services provided to individuals. Regular reviews and user feedback can help keep data accurate. Data protection laws specify several lawful bases for processing personal data. These include consent, contractual necessity, legal obligations, vital interests, public tasks, and legitimate interests. Organizations must identify and document the appropriate legal basis for each data processing activity, ensuring transparency and compliance. Privacy by design means integrating data protection into every stage of product or service development. Organizations should consider privacy risks and safeguards from the outset, rather than as an afterthought. This proactive approach helps prevent problems before they arise and demonstrates a strong commitment to protecting user data. When launching new projects or technologies that involve personal data, organizations should conduct privacy impact assessments. These assessments identify potential risks to privacy and recommend measures to mitigate them. By evaluating risks in advance, organizations can make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Sharing data with third parties is common in business, but it comes with responsibilities. Organizations must ensure that third parties comply with data protection regulations and that data is only shared for legitimate purposes. Contracts and due diligence are essential to maintain control and accountability when working with external partners. Employees play a vital role in data protection. Regular training and awareness programs help staff understand their responsibilities and recognize potential risks. Well-informed employees are less likely to make mistakes that could lead to data breaches, making training an essential part of any data protection strategy. Many organizations are required to appoint a data protection officer, or DPO. The DPO is responsible for overseeing data protection strategies, ensuring compliance, and serving as a point of contact for regulators and data subjects. Having a dedicated DPO demonstrates a serious commitment to privacy and helps organizations navigate complex regulations. Failing to comply with data protection regulations can result in severe penalties, including hefty fines and reputational damage. Regulators have the authority to investigate breaches, issue warnings, and impose sanctions. Organizations must take compliance seriously to avoid costly consequences and maintain public trust. Workplaces handle large amounts of personal data, from employee records to customer information. Organizations must ensure that workplace data practices comply with regulations, including secure storage, restricted access, and clear policies. Protecting data in the workplace not only meets legal requirements but also fosters a culture of respect and responsibility. As more organizations move to cloud-based solutions, protecting data in the cloud has become a top priority. Cloud providers must offer robust security measures, and organizations must carefully manage access and monitor data flows. Understanding the shared responsibility model is key to ensuring that cloud data remains safe and compliant. Mobile devices are now essential tools for work and personal life, but they also pose unique data protection challenges. Organizations should implement policies for device security, including encryption, remote wipe capabilities, and regular updates. These measures help prevent unauthorized access and protect sensitive information on the go. Anonymization is the process of removing personal identifiers from data sets so that individuals cannot be identified. This technique is useful for research and analytics, as it allows organizations to use data without compromising privacy. Proper anonymization is a key tool for balancing data utility and protection. Encryption is a fundamental security measure that transforms data into unreadable code, accessible only with the right key. This protects information from unauthorized access, both in transit and at rest. Organizations should use strong encryption standards to safeguard sensitive data and comply with legal requirements. Conducting regular data audits helps organizations identify potential risks, ensure compliance, and improve data management practices. Audits involve reviewing data flows, access controls, and security measures. By proactively assessing their data environment, organizations can address issues before they become serious problems. Working with vendors and service providers introduces additional data protection risks. Organizations must assess vendor security practices, require contractual safeguards, and monitor ongoing compliance. Effective vendor risk management helps prevent breaches and ensures that third parties uphold the same standards as your organization. Individuals have the right to request access to their personal data and ask for corrections or deletions. Organizations must have clear procedures for handling these requests promptly and securely. Efficient response processes not only ensure compliance but also demonstrate respect for individuals' rights. Privacy notices and policies are essential tools for communicating data practices to users. These documents should be easy to understand and regularly updated to reflect changes in data processing. Transparent policies help build trust and ensure that individuals are aware of their rights and choices. A data retention schedule outlines how long different types of data should be kept and when they should be deleted. Following a clear retention schedule helps organizations comply with storage limitation requirements and reduces the risk of holding unnecessary information. Having a robust incident response plan is vital for managing data breaches and other security incidents. The plan should outline steps for identifying, containing, and reporting incidents, as well as communicating with affected individuals. A well-prepared response minimizes damage and ensures regulatory requirements are met. Supervisory authorities are government agencies responsible for enforcing data protection regulations. They investigate complaints, conduct audits, and issue guidance to organizations. Building a positive relationship with these authorities can help organizations stay informed and respond effectively to regulatory changes. Data protection is a rapidly evolving field. New technologies such as artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things present fresh challenges for privacy. Regulations are adapting to address these changes, and organizations must stay up to date with the latest trends to remain compliant and competitive. While the GDPR is widely recognized, many countries have their own data protection laws, such as the CCPA in California or PIPEDA in Canada. Each law has unique requirements, so organizations operating internationally must understand and comply with multiple legal frameworks. As technology continues to advance, data protection will remain a critical issue. Future regulations may focus on emerging risks such as biometric data and automated decision-making. Staying informed and proactive will help organizations navigate the evolving landscape and maintain user trust. Creating a culture of privacy means making data protection a core value throughout the organization. This involves leadership commitment, ongoing education, and empowering employees to make privacy-conscious decisions. A strong privacy culture not only ensures compliance but also enhances reputation and customer loyalty. Achieving compliance with data protection regulations requires a practical, step-by-step approach. Start by mapping your data flows, reviewing policies, and implementing necessary safeguards. Regular training, audits, and updates will help maintain compliance and adapt to new requirements as they arise. Understanding data protection regulations is essential in today's digital world. These laws help safeguard personal information, build trust, and ensure responsible data handling. By following key principles, staying informed about new developments, and fostering a culture of privacy, organizations and individuals can navigate the complex landscape of data protection with confidence.